Are you sure? Mark.
Where is Omni-Man?
Why did you make me do this?
Where is he?
Lonely. Are you sure? No. Mark,
Think,
you were
Mark,
wrong.
think.
Cecil!
Mark,
I need you, Cecil!
So
I need you.
I thought you
But
were
dang,
wrong.
I won't even keep you as a slave in my new
All
Emperor's
is
Omni-Man!
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I need you, Cecil!
Yes, we are here. 5 years, my fellow Viltrums. 5 years, and we've gotten 4 seasons of Invincible. I have loved all the previous seasons of Invincible, and season 4 is no different. There is always something to look forward to when it comes to the show. And when it comes to the finale, the end game of the seasons, it is just such a great payoff. They always deliver. I'm gonna drop the voice. It's most likely you have seen Invincible season 4. I mean, it was popping off. I'm seeing ads on YouTube for it now. But if you haven't watched Invincible, much less its latest season, spoiler alerts. So, bum, 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 bum. I don't wanna get copyright. The series begins. Mark's, I guess, not in the best mindset because he sees the destruction that's been laid waste after conquest and all that, and this mustache is falling off. We see this T-Rex, red T-Rex thingy. Again, I've never read the comics. I thought he looked alright, but then I saw the comic variant. I was like, whoa, they went really extra with the comic variant. But it sort of introduces to this thing that Mark tackles with throughout the series, which throughout this season, which is, should he kill these bad guys? Because people like Angstrom, like Conquest later on, should he kill these people to prevent them from doing any more harm in the future? Because he nearly does that to this T-Rex who turns back into a human, and he says, I can't control it. So, Mark questions, should I kill him or not? And he's tackling with that with basically every other big baddie in the future. And I'm pretty sure with Conquest, we all saw this coming. Leaving him alive? Cecil. Pretty stupid. In my opinion, if they were going to do that, they should put that sound emitting thing that hurts Mark in that prison or something. I don't know. I feel like that would have been a good idea. And we just see Oliver getting... Oh, voice crack. Oliver getting sick and tired of being a superhero. He wants to be, have a normal childhood, like be playing video games and just dilly-dallying around. One of my favorite activities, dilly-dallying around. And he's also constantly tired, but, Mark says this is kind of our fault. It's also our responsibility. Spider-Man, Uncle Ben, all that. And then we lead into, we also, Mark, Amber. Eve's power isn't exactly working. We learned that later. It's because she was pregnant and Mark has dinner with their parents. It's awkward, but it's not terrible, so I guess that was okay. And then we lead into episode 2, where we learn a bit more about the Viltrum Empire. Unless you've read the comics. Again, I haven't. Don't plan on it. I will read up to the parts, but I don't want to read past it, to spoil myself. I do the same thing with manga. We learn there's a virus, and it wiped out nearly all of the Viltrumite. There's only 50 left. Brutal. And Nolan, who is brought to the headquarters of the Coalition with Alan putting in the good word, telling them, yo, he's cool, and then Thaddeus reveals, yo, I'm the one that wiped out nearly all of your population. Now, Nolan responds rather aggressively. I would totally get that. He committed genocide on his own people, and he nearly finished the job. There's less than 1% of the Viltrum Empire left. I don't know how much there were originally, because before that there was the culling of their own kind, but then there was this virus thing. Thaddeus gives him the directive, yo, bring your sons into the war. Nolan's like, I'm not doing that. And it's all oh, okay, well, then I might have to use this virus. And Nolan's like, whoa, chill. I got some other things that can work. They find Space Racer. They're finding allies. Well, specifically Space Racer and his gun. There's allies. And the red lizard things, which they didn't really use until later. But man, those Riddlers stronger than Viltrumites. That's incredible. Well, maybe not against Thrag, but yeah, those are pretty useful stuff. And then we lead into episode 3. It's Mark's still tackling his, current mental state, specifically against like he was really against the no-kill. Oh no, he was really for the no-kill rule, but now he's just seeing like every time I leave some of these people alive, more people are gonna die. Oliver fights that dragon. He tries to take a bit of the burden off Mark, so he takes over his duties in the Invincible business. And at the same time, I forgot to say this: the Guardians of the Globe is reformed. Yada yada yada. They've got a bit more independence, but their leader is under someone else, and they fight against the Flaxons, from season 1 where Omni-Man destroyed their planet. I would have thought they learned their lesson, but I guess they must have learned from the other side, like, yo, that crazy guy on the other end, he's gone. And then we got something shocking. Robot Girl and Monster Girl are lost to the other side. And then we got episode 4, which was a very different flow of things. We get sent to the underworld. Also, a mummy is freed. A sexist mummy is freed. And episode 4 about the underworld, about Darkblood, Detective Darkblood, I thought was pretty good. It was a change of pace, and that's always welcome in my books, as long as it doesn't disturb the flow of the entire thing. But I welcomed it. I liked it. We learned about this new law, about the different ages, the fact that hell exists, but it's a different kind of hell compared to the traditional sense. I liked the episode, but there were some things that I would have liked to see. Specifically, I would have liked to see how Invincible defeated Cerberus, or if he just fended off Cerberus. We don't actually know if Cerberus is dead, or if he's just defeated, or he just got scared and run off. We don't actually see that, because, they cut to Darkblood just being thrown up, down, and then Invincible catches him at the end. I think that was supposed to be high tensions, but it was kind of dragging away from me just wanting to see Invincible fight. Invincible helps Satan regain his powers. They rule the underworld, they keep these creatures from entering Earth, and then Darkblood is sent on Earth to be a sort of an agent for Satan to investigate these weird things happening on the surface. I think it was Volcanica, weird things related to Volcanica, but there were other stuff as well. And then it ends with Nolan and Alan appearing in front of the house, or was it the backyard, just going, "Mark, I made a mistake." I don't actually remember if they said that, but maybe that was the next episode, but it's something along the lines of that. That's the premise of it. And then we get this really awkward, lots of emotions going high. Omni-Man tries talking to Devi. He says a few hurtful stuff about his second wife, I guess, the bug wife. I forgot what it was. Oh, Thraxian? Is it Thraxian? I'm pretty sure. He convinces them that they need to go to war because the Viltrumites, we've seen what just one could do. And all three of them, Omni-Man, Anissa, Conquest, they've just wrought destruction. So they go to space, help the war, end the Viltrum Empire. But they get disturbed along the way. Lucan, I forgot the other guy, and Conquest, bro. They fight off these three. I don't know why, but Alan felt like he was nerfed. Because I remember in season 3, when he was imprisoned with Nolan on that prisoner ship, before that he was fighting off Anissa. I'm not sure if it was Anissa, but those other Viltrumites, and he was winning that fight. And they said no Unopin is this strong, but then it was all then he faked his defeat and got brought on board. But I felt like he got nerfed. Zoe's she's the support, but she doesn't do enough damage as a support, and I wish she did. Because I feel like there was more, because they before that they kind of hyped her up. I was like, oh, these Geldarians were worthy foes of the Viltrum Empire. I guess the highlight of that episode was definitely Conquest, and it was the most brutal thing I've ever seen. The fight itself was cool. There was no talking. They would They were just in it. They just wanted to kill each other. They were really going at it. Mark had his full, like, you're gonna tell me about your feelings again? And then they fought. And oh my face was like this. Stop. When he kept pulling out his guts. Oh my gosh. And he survived that. It was so brutal. I know I'm not the only one who felt like that. I asked my friends who watched that episode. They were like, "Yeah, I feel the same way." Where I just couldn't like stop peeling my skin off when they kept pulling out his guts. Oh my goodness! But Conquest, he went out. He's gone now. Now he's definitively gone. But they did that little prank. I think it was in the next episode where they zoomed in. There's high tension kind of music playing, and then boom, nothing happened. Good. I would have been so pissed off if he was actually alive and he just like flew off right there. I would have been so pissed off. And then the next one is it's just mostly Mark's recovering. I don't know how many months. I know it's a long time, like probably 5 months plus. Mark's recovering. Nolan and Oliver are bonding. You know, they're spending more time together. And, you know, to Oliver specifically, his sense of time is very different to humans because he matures really fast. So that couple of months is for us probably like years. So that really helped the bonding process, I think. But it's nice to see that Omni-Man's trying to put in that effort to grow, to bond. And we basically end the episode with like the Viltrum Empire. They come down, they're shooting down everything. They like attack the heart. We learned who the betrayer was. It was the Data twin. And Mark and Nolan, they come in to save the day, you know, fend off the Viltrum that attacked the heart of the Empire. Terrible decision, by the way, from the Viltrum Empire. But we also get Space Racer. We see him join the fight with Zoe and Alan earlier in the episode when they're fighting off the Viltrum. And, you know, Space Racer's gun is pretty cool. It one-shots anything. I don't know if the ray actually dissipates, because if it does and this guy cares about life and he isn't a monster, he's got to be really careful where he's shooting that thing. Let's be honest, everyone's favorite episode, it was definitely episode 7. Thrag finally fights. Although we get a small delay, we don't go straight into the fight. We learn a little bit about the culling, you know, Emperor Argyle's assassination by the betrayer, Thaddeus. And then Grand Regent Thrag is just like, we will cull the weak from our ranks. I don't know how many people they slaughtered. I know it is a lot. And then we get into the best part of the episode. Thrag fights. Bro, he's just rocking everybody. They don't stand a chance against Thrag. Bro, that one punch from Mark when he just did that and he started seeing double vision. And come on, that tornado punch, that is tight. That tornado punch he did and like the wind started. Oh, and it even pulled Nolan in. Oh my goodness. I apologize if I said anything about your character design. Bro is a unit. And even before that, when he's just standing still, he's just aura farming. Nothing can hit him. Space Racer, he moved a little. Even Nolan's just initial attack, he just slips it just a little, just enough, and then just rocks him into the atmosphere. But it's like 5 minutes, like while everyone's fighting, and Thrag just tornado punches him out. He is still flying for like 5 minutes. It's only when he starts bumping into stuff, like all the other dead Viltrumites in that ring, until he starts slowing down his flight. Bro was gonna fly forever. Or at least he's like really, really far. He sees Oliver and in his head he's just thinking, alright, I know how to deal with this. Let's just fuck their planet up. I don't blame him for thinking that. I was supposed to send a message, but it really just pissed Thrag off. But Thrag, it's just these little moments. He seems almost human. But I think part of that is because the culling. That was him. He cut down the numbers by a lot. And then there was also the Scourge virus that happened. And that cut them down like even more than before. So he sees Mark and he looks at the planet and he's just like, whoa, yo, there's like none of us left. And this guy is Viltrumite. Like, and then in his head he thinks I'm sure this process happened in his head. This is what I thought happened, but maybe he was all, and this leads into the next episode. He was all like, we are so cooked, bro. But I think this could work out for us. because Nolan made this, and it's pretty much a Viltrumite. So, maybe this would work out. And then we lead to the next episode. Oh, by the way, everyone's pretty much hospitalized or resting. They lead into the next episode, and Mark comes to this conclusion, like, they've gone to Earth. And then they prank us by showing the destruction of Earth. But they didn't actually destroy Earth. Very funny, but my goodness, would it be easy for 37 Viltrumites plus Thrag? 36 plus Thrag? Yeah, that's instant game over. With Thaddeus dead in an incredible and a quick display of strength. Just,
No! I choose death!
and then he comes there and just rips it. Oh my goodness. There, although Alan was going to be holding Thaddeus, was like, I will continue your work. Please don't continue his work. I want Mark alive. And apparently the Scourge virus, which Thaddeus urges Alan to use in his death video, wipes out humankind as well. Yo, don't use that. Don't use that. Please, Alan. Trust in Invincible. He can find a solution. I mean, the solution right now is pretty terrible, which is let the Viltrumites have freely live on planet Earth, or else we will just mess it up. It's a pretty good deal. It sucks that that's the only option he has. But yeah, it's quite the ending. It's not high action. It's not like season 1, 2, or 3. It's just a complete brawl out. It's like setting up, and it really does a good job setting up for the next season. Like, I'm excited to see how will they tackle the solution. Viltrumites hiding among us kind of thing. But yeah, super excited. Also, that's when we get the discovery, why is Eve's power not working? And since, I think it was in this episode, it said like what, 5+ months? I do not remember, but that's how distant they were. So she had this like abortion thing, and Mark's just really disappointed that he wasn't there for that conversation. Eve had to go through this alone. He's just being a good boyfriend, tons of green flags kind of thing. And apologizes he wasn't there and it's in her time of need. So, again, fantastic season. Yeah, I know, I'm a little late to the party. Season 4 ended like a week and a half ago. I know I'm a little late to the party. Alright, I'm caught up now. No, I'm not going to be reading ahead with the comic books. Yes, I will read the comic book, at least to the parts where I've reached in the series, being season 4. Yes, I am super psyched for season 5 and the upcoming seasons. I'm assuming there are more. No, I'm not force sensitive, okay? And yes, my favorite place to go outside is the cinema. Let me explain your future to you. This video, it's over now. I've just told you what's been racking in my mind. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and have a good one. Mark, I made a mistake. Are you sure?
Where is Omni-Man?
What you did was not nice.
Are you sure?
It's not nice. It's not nice to do
I
that
need
to
to
people.
see some.
Pathetic. Only the keep you as a
Where is Omni-Man?
empire.
Where is Omni-Man?
Get a real.
What you did was not nice. It's not nice.
Are you sure?
It's not nice to do that to people.
Are you sure? I feel insane doing this bit.